Emergency 911. Help me, my brother's dead. What's your name? Mickey. What do you mean by your brother's dead? He killed himself.
The death of Robin Williams. The 63-year-old actor and comedian died of an apparent suicide.
Celebrity chef and longtime television personality Anthony Bourdain has died.
CNN confirms the cause of death was suicide.
Chester Bennington has died at the age of 41. He may have hung himself.
And now some disturbing findings about suicides in this country and how the rate has continued to climb for more than 15 years.
So, I know it's a heavy video, but by the time you're done watching this video, somewhere between 15 and 20 people in the world will have committed suicide. It's not okay. We gotta do something. We have to change something. Suicide is the 4th leading cause of death between the ages of 15 and 29. Males are 3.5 times more likely to commit suicide. Over 700,000 people a year commit suicide. But it doesn't just happen, right? Suicide doesn't just come out of nowhere. It comes from a cause of depression and mental illness and things that stack up over time. So let's talk about a couple things that I do personally to stay out of depression and to battle depression. I also reach out to a bunch of my friends to see what they do. But most importantly, if you need help, reach out to the suicide hotline. Seriously. So now that we got the tough stuff out of the way, I want to talk about 5 of the most common ways I pull myself out of depression. I used to deal with a lot of depression, which I think is normal. I think we should talk about it more, but I also think we should talk about getting out of depression and how to not live in a constant state of depression, right? I haven't been depressed in years, and it's because of these habits and things that I do to keep myself out of depression. So here's the 5 things that I do to stay out of depression, and I also, towards the end of this video, FaceTime a bunch of my friends and I asked them how they stay out of depression, and they had some really good stuff to say. So look for that towards the end of the video. So number 1 is finding purpose and your passion in life. I know that that sounds kind of like a very simple thing to say, but a lot of people are living their lives with no passion and no purpose. They feel like their existence is meaningless, and that leads to depression, which then can often lead to suicide, right? So if you feel like you have a purpose, if you feel like you're doing good for humanity, you will feel amazing. Like there is nothing like feeling like you're aligned with your purpose and you're living in your purpose. So for me, that ended up being not working for somebody else. I'm not saying you have to go quit your job, but if you hate working for somebody else, if every day you wake up and you are miserable going to some job, you either need to find a better job that's more aligned with your passion, or you need to go work for yourself doing something you're passionate about. So many people wake up and spend a majority of their life sleeping, waking up and getting ready, traveling to, and then spending time at work, driving home, and then they have this little small time to enjoy themselves, which they're too exhausted to even do that. So if you're living your life without passion and without purpose, you're going to be depressed. It's a natural state to be in because your brain does not think that you are valuable to humanity. Go out and serve your community. Go feed homeless people. Go help an old lady. Go volunteer at a hospice center. Do something to help somebody else. That is a proven way to give yourself a little dopamine hit and feel a little better about yourself and your value to humanity. All right, so number 2 is take inventory and document your schedule. So if you're depressed, you probably already have some negative habits going on, right? You're probably not eating well, you're probably not working out, you're probably not getting sunlight, all of these things. You need to really take inventory on what you're doing and how you're spending your days. So what I do is I just take a look at what I did yesterday and what I did the day before and what I'm gonna do today. And typically when I'm depressed, they're not high vibrational things, they're low vibrational things, right? I'm playing video games, I'm watching TV, I'm sleeping in, all of these things. You really have to take inventory and look at what you're doing, because what you're putting into the world is what you're going to get out. So if you're doing terrible things, if you're smoking weed, drinking, doing drugs, sleeping in, those are the things that are going to keep you in a low vibrational state and a depressed state. So if you're sleeping in all the time, get better sleep, wake up on a schedule. If you're not working out, get a workout routine in. If you're eating shit food like pizza and candy all day, stop doing that, eat some chicken and rice and count your calories. It's those kind of things that you just need to take inventory, find what you're doing, cut the negative out, fill it in with positive, and I promise you that will make a huge difference right off the bat. All right, so number 3 is try something new. So our brains are hardwired to run on consistency, right? So we are creatures of habit. And again, if you don't change your habits, you don't change your results. So when you wake up in the morning, the first thing you might do is get some water, get some coffee, play some video games, brush your teeth, go to work, right? Something like that. If you're doing the same thing every single day, you're gonna get the same result every single day. What you need to do is shake up your subconscious mind and start changing things. So literally, and this sounds crazy, but instead of, if you get up and you get out of bed and you drink some water and coffee, before you do that, stand on your hands, like do a handstand for 30 seconds. And I know that sounds absolutely crazy and almost like schizophrenic, but when you change up your subconscious mind and you change up what you're doing on a consistent basis, it starts to make your brain look at things differently. So if you start to do things differently, your brain will start to operate differently and see things from a different angle. So don't underestimate the power of moving and geographic change, right? When I was like 20 years old, I went through a breakup, was drinking heavily, was depressed, just in a really bad spot in my life. I up and moved back to Boston. And guess what? Because I changed my geographic setting and the people I was spending my time with, my habits changed and my life got a million times better. So if you live in some shitty small town and you've never left, leaving that small town and going to a big city with exciting new things and a fresh perspective might be the thing that changes your life. So just think about that. All right, so real quick, I want to FaceTime a bunch of my friends and ask them some questions on what helps them battle depression. Let's hear what they have to say. Hey, so we're shooting a YouTube video right now, and I'm FaceTiming a bunch of my friends and asking them one question, which is, how do you fight depression?
Non-stop action. Keep moving. Don't stop moving.
Hell yeah. So what does that mean? Like in business, in fitness, in everything?
Yeah, just create your own opportunities and keep pushing and fight through the pain.
What did you do to fight depression in prison?
I think it's staying active. It's staying active physically, staying active mentally, and don't harp on the unknowns. And realize that a lot of the problems that you anticipate in the future will solve themselves if you take action.
Boom.
Best ways that I find it, honestly, was just surrounding myself around great people. What do they say? They say, I don't mind, it's the devil's playground.
Ooh.
So I know that by surrounding myself around people like you, I mean, I know many times you got me out of my funk when you've seen or you've been maybe sense that I was in maybe a depressed like state.
Yeah.
But really, I'd say just getting out of my own way, you know, surrounding myself around other people and just feeding off that positive energy and just realizing that life is more than just where you're currently at, you know, and that things, you know, this too shall pass and things will get better.
Hell yeah.
A network. If your network is of like mind, that is key for me, and that's always have been. So you gotta watch your network.
Nice. Yeah. So when you're depressed, do you reach out to people? What do you do?
Absolutely. So I have a bucket list, right? So I have a spiritual bucket list. I have a fitness bucket list. I have a mentorship bucket list. And I'll reach out to each one of those groups,
yeah,
people to keep me accountable and to keep me on the right path. So
amazing.
Daily.
Fuck yeah, bro. Thank you so much, bro. I appreciate it.
You just can't let it win, man. If it's telling you to stay in bed, you gotta take control of yourself. It doesn't control you.
Starts with getting out of bed, starts with getting to the gym. What else?
You gotta know at the end of the day, you're in control of yourself.
Awesome. What is one thing that helps you battle and fight depression?
Sunshine.
Sunshine, that's a really good one. So sunshine, getting outdoors, just doing something in nature. Yeah.
I like to go outside, so.
Awesome, hell yeah. Thank you, Sharon. So those were some really, really great answers from some of my friends. I really liked how Sharon said, get out, get some sun. I'm gonna include that in number 4 and 5, but let's keep moving on through my 5 steps to fight and beat depression. So number 4 is kind of 3 things in one, but it's eat healthy, work out, and get sun. These 3 might be the most important thing on this list. So for me, running is the easiest, most simple thing that I can do for myself. I can run in almost any weather. If I'm out on a business trip, there's no reason why I can't run. Like if I'm in New York City, I can run. I just have to put 45 minutes aside or even 30 minutes aside to just get out and go on a run. There's some people watching this video that are like, there is no way in hell you're gonna catch me running. Okay, fine. If you really don't wanna run, if you really can't run or whatever reason, get out and walk. Just get movement. If you are not moving and being active, your body is literally going into more of a detrimental state. So joining a gym, whether you're you're going to go lift weights, or you want to join something like a jiu-jitsu gym or a CrossFit gym, somewhere where there's more of a team and social environment where somebody is pushing you, whatever you do, go join some kind of gym, because one, you get the physical fitness part, but two, you get to be social, meet new people, and get a different perspective, and things change. Just get out, get some sunlight in your eyes, especially early in the morning, and just move and be active. Now, number 5, which I think is wildly underrated and people don't talk about it much, especially in the entrepreneurial space, is sleep. The more consistent your sleep is, the better your life is gonna be, right? 7 to 8 hours is ideal. And also you can use something like an OURA ring, which this actually tracks not only my sleep, but the sleep cycles and a lot of things like oxygen, and it tracks almost everything. So getting an OURA ring, which we'll put a link in the description to the website, is massively, massively helpful, because it helps you track your sleep and also understand what you're doing in your day that may impact your sleep, like caffeine too late, or maybe a little bit too much screen time. Now, one thing people don't talk about enough is your circadian system. This is your body's way of being predictable. So if you're going to sleep and waking up at the same time, if you're eating your meals at the same time and you're running on a predictable schedule, your hormones in your body is going to be much more evened out, rather than when you just sort of do things whenever. If you're wondering why you feel stressed and high alert all the time, is because maybe your circadian rhythm and your circadian system is messed up and all wonky. So go to sleep at the same time, wake up at the same time, eat at the same time, do all of that, and I promise you, your life will change. All right, guys, I hope you guys got something out of this. I know we started this video off pretty heavy, but seriously, if you're thinking of self-harm, please reach out to the suicide hotline. It's no joke. My sister committed suicide in November of 2019. I've had a lot of friends commit suicide, and I know that you statistically know somebody who has or is going to commit suicide. So if you got value from this, please leave a like, leave a comment, and send it to somebody that you think could benefit. And again, if you're thinking of self-harm, if you're worried that your depression is getting out of hand, talk to a specialist, talk to a professional, and if you need it, call the suicide hotline. Love you guys. Peace.